the top 10 worst purchases in GTA Online. Now, I've done a video on this topic in the past. It was the top 5 worst purchases, but that was about a year ago. And since then, there have been quite a number of horrible purchases that someone could make in online. So in this video, hopefully, maybe if you're a new player or if you haven't played in a while and you just want to know what not to buy, then this video should be a good guide on that topic. Now, as always, you can let me know in the comment section if you have any differing opinions, but getting us started, I'll say one thing. In the last video I did, I think the number one worst purchase I said in that video was the safe in the office. And I think that in the game is still the worst purchase because it literally does nothing. At least everything else that I'm going to mention in this video does something. The office safe cost you $500,000, I believe, and it literally does nothing. There's no purpose for it in the game. So I would say that is still the worst purchase in the game. But since I mentioned that in that video, we're going to talk about some new stuff for the most part. So number 10, and these really aren't in a particular order, but we're just going to list them anyway. The Luxor Deluxe and the Swift Deluxe. The gold plane and the gold helicopter. I really don't know what Rockstar were thinking when they added these to the game. I mean, I think they were originally added because at the time everyone had billions of dollars because of mods, and they, I guess, wanted to make some sort of vehicle for those people to buy, but they just don't make any sense. They're the most expensive item, well, the plane is at least. It's the most expensive vehicle in the game at $10 million, and it does nothing. The worst part about it is that not only does it cost a lot, but you can't go into passive mode, even though these aren't attack vehicles. So, especially now when in the air there's so many different aircraft, if you fly one of these things, you're going to get killed because you can't go into passive mode and you can't put flares on it. So, the gold plane and the gold heli are probably one of the worst things you could buy in the game. Next up, I would say the MC businesses that aren't cocaine. The document forgery, the weed, the meth, I don't know what the other one is, but they are all horrible. At least with cocaine, you get a decent amount of money per hour, but the other ones, you don't make enough money to even justify purchasing them. It costs so much money to run those businesses, and you barely get anything out of it, and it takes so long to complete. So if you're looking for ways to make money, whatever you do, do not buy any of the businesses apart from the cocaine business. The next one, speaking of businesses, I would say these small and medium warehouses from the first CEO update. Those are horrible purchases as well. The way that business works is the more crates you have, the more money you get. And with a large warehouse, you can get 111 crates, which I think turns into like $2.1 million. But with the small and the medium ones, you only get, I think it's like 11 or some small number for the small warehouse, and then maybe 40 for the medium warehouse, and you barely get any money from those. And the worst part is that you can't even sell them. So the small and the medium warehouses for the original, the crate system or the crate business, you pretty much are going to be wasting money if you do end up purchasing them. Now, number 7, and I think I did mention this in that original video, but it still stands. The houses in the hills, the stilt houses. In theory, these could have been really cool. They're a great idea. But the one major problem is that the garages are not connected to the houses. So you can get 10-car garages in the house, but in order to get access to the garage, you have to walk out of the house through a loading screen and then walk into the garage through another loading screen. And that alone makes those houses horrible purchases. Yeah, some of them have cool views, but it's not worth it because it's just such an inconvenience to actually visit them. Get an office garage. You can store 60 cars in it. That's all you need. Maybe when mansions come out, they'll be better, but at the moment, the houses in the game are just not very good. Okay, now number 6. This is a recent vehicle, the Bombushka. This is a $6 million aircraft. It is the Russian AC-130. It's got cannons. It's huge. It can hold a ton of people. But only Rockstar could mess it up because it can only withstand like one rocket. And the thing is so damn slow that it's so easy to take out. And with the addition of the explosive sniper in the game, I think it only takes like 3 explosive sniper bullets and it blows up. This thing has absolutely no armor, and because of that, it is a horrible purchase for $6 million. Yeah, I know you can get it for a little bit cheaper if you do the missions, but even at that price, it's horrible. I would say at $1 million, this thing is still a horrible purchase because it serves no purpose. If it was good, yeah, it'd be fine. But the fact that it literally does not move, it is so slow, and the cannons don't go that far, and the armor is non-existent, it's a death trap. Anyone in the game can easily take you out, and you really can't do anything about it. So the Bombushka, never buy that vehicle. Now, number 5, the yacht. This probably varies from person to person, but to me, the yacht, in hindsight, was a horrible purchase. It cost me $7 million, I believe, and I really don't ever do anything on the yacht. The only reason I've ever gone on my yacht and actually used it is for clothing glitches. So maybe it's worth it to some people for that, but the yacht just doesn't serve a purpose. I know you can do piracy prevention, but no one really cares if you do that anymore, and it's only $30,000, I believe, that you get, which is nothing. If yachts maybe had some mini games or some cool stuff on them, they would totally be worth the price tag, but you're basically buying a $5 to $7 million stationary boat in the middle of the ocean that does nothing. That just looks good, maybe. So coming in at number 4, now this vehicle is actually not out yet, but it is such a horrible purchase. I really don't know why Rockstar thinks someone is going to purchase this. I mean, I'm sure there probably will be someone that does purchase it, but I don't see what the reason for purchasing this vehicle is. And I'm talking about the Laser Jet. It's coming to Warstock Cash and Carry in a few weeks, and it is going to cost $6.5 million. $6.5 million for a jet that spawns in the military base, which if you own a Fort Zancudo hangar, you can get into for free, which allows you to get and steal the lasers very easily. The only reason you would buy a laser is to have it as a personal vehicle, because you can't even put flares on it. You can't even customize it, really. There's really nothing different between the purchasable laser and the laser you get from Fort Zancudo. So I really don't know why they're adding it to the game as a purchasable item at $6.5 million. Maybe if it was like $2 million, it may be good to have just as a, just because you could call it as a personal vehicle and you can call it wherever you want, but it just doesn't offer much more than the Hydra or the Pyro. So why would someone pay $6.5 million for the option to own that? Unless you have billions of dollars, it's a horrible, horrible purchase. Now at number 3, this is somewhat of a general or broad topic, so I'm just kind of sorry about that, but I had to put it in here. Every single Pegasus vehicle that's not a Hydra, Buzzard, or Cargo Bob is pointless. There may be some uses occasionally for some of them, but every single one of the Pegasus vehicles I own, I think they've stayed in the Pegasus list forever. I don't think I've ever really called them. And most of them cost a decent amount of money, like $1 million or $2 million. So it's not even like these things are cheap. And with the addition of all these new aircraft and all these new special vehicles, the Pegasus vehicles are just irrelevant now. I mean, why buy a tank when you can get an APC that's a personal vehicle that you can call whenever you want, and it does more damage, and it has more armor than the Rhino tank, And that ties into number 2 on this list, the Tugboat. I know it's technically a Pegasus vehicle, but I wanted to make something specific for the Tugboat because, oh my god, I don't know who thought that releasing a Tugboat that doesn't move in the water because it goes so slow was worth it. I forget how much it costs, but it's quite a bit of money, and it may be one of the worst purchases. Apart from the Bombushka, I think the Tugboat was my second worst purchase in GTA Online. I mean, really, you could say this for any boat, because boats in the game are just pointless because there aren't many ways to use them, and there's not much out in the ocean to explore. But the Tugboat is so slow, it blows up in one little explosion, you can't really put anything on it or the back just sinks into the water. And overall, I just feel really disappointed because when they showed it in the trailers and when they announced the tugboat was coming back, I thought it would be a great vehicle to add. I thought they would actually make it useful and make it good, but that seems to be the norm for Rockstar. Take something that could be cool and make it horrible, because that is what they did with the tugboat. And then that leads us to number 1. I had to put this in here because I asked in my Discord, what do you guys, in your opinion, what are some of the worst purchases you guys have ever made? So many people responded with shark cards, and I can totally understand that. I only buy shark cards sometimes when I'm doing giveaways and when I'm like super desperate on money, but not once have I bought a shark card and actually felt, you know what, I got my money's worth out of that shark card. It's such a joke. $100 of real life money for only 8 million in the game, considering most vehicles in the game cost 2 to 3 million now. $100 for basically like 1 or 2 vehicles. That shouldn't be how it is. So I would say shark cards are probably one of the worst purchases in online. I know some people out there, you want to get up and started very quickly. You don't want to have to grind, and I can understand that, but still, shark cards are just not a good purchase. So there you guys have it. That is my list, my top 10 worst purchases in GTA Online. Hopefully, like I said, if you're a new player or a player getting back into the game, this video is somewhat of a guide on what not to buy in the game, what not to waste your money on. Let me know and let us know in the comment section if you guys have any other things you want to add to this list, but that is going to do it for me. So thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.